I'm here to talk to you about how important it is that a child grows up with both a mother and father figure in the home. Every child on this planet deserves two parents, and because it's the stage of your life where you need the most support, and two people can accomplish this goal in the easiest way possible. It's an undeniable fact that raising a kid is much easier if there are two people contributing towards their livelihood, and it's because of this that a good majority of children suffer greatly because they lack the attention of both a mother and father. You will hear me cite from Jeffrey Scott Steiner's article, Children Need Both Parents Now More Than Ever, Bramwell Jeffrey's article, Do Children in Two-Parent Families Do Better? Lena Nas, The Effects of Growing Up with Two Parents versus One, Diana DeVetch article, What Happens to Kids When Parents Fight, and the article, Five Things to Know About Parents' Knowledge of Parenting Development, Parent and Early Childhood Development by Jessica Bartlett. I read through all of these articles, and as a man who grew up with only mostly his mother, the topic is very important to me. So I ask that you please listen as I inform you about what having two parents does for your child during their growth. It is a parent's job to provide their child with both love and security. In Bramwell Jeffrey's Do Children with Two-Parent Families Do Better? Professor Sarah McLennan, who was also a single mother herself, said having two parents who to cooperate to raise a child, who give time and money, means there are just more resources than one doing it. Raising and providing for a child is not cheap, both mentally and physically. It's because of this there is an obvious advantage when there are two parents involved in said child's growth due to two possible sources of income, and one parent can stay home while the other one goes to work. In Steiner's article, Children Need Both Parents Now More Than Ever, he said that the children who maintain healthy and quality relationships with both their mother and father following parental separation often experience better adjustments and more positive rates of development compared to situations where those relationships are absent. The lack of a mother or father's emotional support is very unhealthy for a child's mind. It can also cause a son or daughter to resent the parent that's absent, producing an unhealthy relationship with him or her or harming them mentally. I've explained to you a few reasons why children need two parents during growth, so let's move on to my next point. A child's mental health can be affected even when parents are divided due to fighting between the two. Even if there is a split between parents, in no situation ever should it ever involve the child. Constant arguments can frighten the child or even make them feel as if it's their fault. Depending on how frequent the fighting is, it could teach the child that this behavior that they are demonstrating to them is perfectly normal and they can replicate it in the future whenever they get married. And what happens to kids when parents fight, DeVecca says, when parents repeatedly use hostile strategies with each other, some children may become distraught, worried, anxious, and hopeless. DeVecca also says, after research, kids as young as 6 months old can sense the distress of their parents and that it can affect their kindergarten experience whenever they do start growing up. Children do not deserve to feel this type of way, especially not at the extreme low age of 6 months old. After talking about the effects of fighting about children, this is a great chance to move into my final point. There are many outlets to find information about how to be with and around your kid in the future. Five things to know about parents' knowledge of parenting and early childhood development is a great article for parents to read, as it provides information based on studies about how parents go about finding information and recommendations, such as the line parents turn to the internet for information, support, and guidance. This is very true. The internet is a great source of information, especially on an extremely serious topic such as this one. And it's an amazing idea to try and use it to better yourself and learn how to act around your child so they grow up and develop healthily. Other great ways are also mentioned in Bartlett's article, such as asking a pediatrician specific questions about the topic, asking your own parents and or grandparents, or even just asking friends or other family members who have kids of their own. Lena Na's article is another great article for parents to read. This article essentially explains the differences between a single parent home and a double parent home and goes into detail about how the dynamics around us can affect how the child grows, how they feel, and eventually what they become to be. It says, in the article, the key focus is to establish a healthy, happy, loving lifestyle for your little one, and that it's all a child could really ever ask for, regardless of whether or not the parents get along or whether they're present. As I said in the beginning, it's a parent's job to provide their child with love and security, regardless of whether or not they're present in the home. Without a mother or a father's love they can cause harm in their growth and prevent them from having the same advantages as someone who did have both children or both parents in their life to help them grow. I urge you to take this speech into with the future when and if you have kids of your own. And regardless of the situation, show your child the affection that they deserve as to not cause them future long-term illness. A happy life is what every parent wants for their kid, and their developmental stage affects whether or not this comes into fruition or not. No sane parent wants to see their kids struggle with any mental or physical issues, and this should be true for everyone. This is where I'll be ending my speech. Thank you all for listening.